Good evening. The day is finally here, guys. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. The Elm Street 4K 40th anniversary release is out. It's doing the rounds. I have my special edition Steelbook, the gift pack, the big fuck off whiz bang pack. I'm going to be unboxing it and doing a review today. Now, this is my first time reviewing physical media. I'm not a physical media expert when it comes to 4K transfers, audio and stuff like that. This is actually my first 4K purchase. I now have a PS5, so I'm able to watch it, which is great. It's exciting, especially given the fact that the first Elm Street is my favorite film of all time. You know, what went on in front of the camera and behind the camera. I adore this film. I adore the character of Freddy Krueger, clearly. And the fact that it's finally out on 4K, it's a big deal to me. So I'm going to be very thorough with this review. Again, for some people, surface level horror fans, Freddy fans, you know, it's going to be different expectations in terms of the packaging, the design and stuff like that. And most of you know I do have a few gripes with the design, but I'm going to get into that with the unboxing. So we have the box here ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to unbox everything down here on the table. But before we go any further, because of this auspicious occasion, oh my God, he has hair. Ooh, yes. Tips Fedora. So after the unboxing, I'm going to do a bit of a comparison with the 1080p Blu-ray to the 4K with some screenshots. Some that just really stood out to me because, again, I know this film back to front in terms of the aesthetic. Again, I'm not a 4K expert, so if I do use the incorrect terminologies, I do apologize. This is my first rodeo, but it's more or less coming from a standpoint of someone who references this film a lot for, say, glove reference, makeup reference, you know, even fedora and sweater weathering reference. So I'm going to be very critical because I will notice certain things that look different, whether it's good or bad, and also the audio. I do know there are a few issues with the audio, but I'm just going to double check and wait to see exactly if that is indeed the case. With that being said, it's unboxing time. Alrighty, so like I showed you guys before, it comes in this nice little classic Warner Brothers home entertainment box. So if we just pop this open, we see, there we go. So that is the basic cover. Now, obviously I do have things to say in regards to the design, but let's get this out and see what we're dealing with here. I think my biggest gripe is the fact that they used an image from Freddy vs. Jason, and this is just the standard Elm Street logo. And you're gonna probably hear me whinge a lot about the design and the use of certain Freddy images that aren't part one Freddy. So again, stock standard Elm Street logo. I would have loved the OG logo that they have on the side there. So I'm actually just gonna take the shrink wrap off so there's no reflection. And on the back, again, they've used a photo of Freddy from part 3, which again, I'm like, come on guys. Now this includes both the theatrical and the uncut versions. And by uncut, a few extra bits of Tina's death, especially when she hits the bed and the blood sprays up. So a little bit of extended shots and scenes here and there, but overall, nothing really spectacular. Ready Freddy focus points. See alternate takes and learn filmmaking secrets behind the nightmare by jumping to video highlights while watching the movie. Now we've got two commentaries. We've got the classic one from the original 1999 DVD release with Wes Craven, Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, and cinematographer Jacques Haken. We also have one with Wes Craven, Robert Englund, and Heather Langenkamp, also Ronnie Blakely, producer Rob Shea, and co-producer Sarah Risher. We've got the three alternate endings, one of which is where Freddy is driving the actual car. Three featurettes: The House That Freddy Built, The Legacy of the New Line Horror, Never Sleep Again, The Making of a Nightmare on Elm Street. That is the 45-minute documentary that came out with the Infinifilm DVD back in the day. It's actually a pretty good documentary. People might mistake it for the 4-hour documentary, but this is purely about the first Nightmare on Elm Street. And Night Terrors, the origins of Wes Craven's New Nightmare. So physically includes the 4K and Blu-ray. We have a rigid slipcase steelbook, all new 24-page book, certificate of authenticity, and 6 colorful character cards. So in terms of the steelbook, I like it. It's simple. We've got the nice shot of Freddy coming through the wall, and there we go, the classic poster. That is what I wanted. This would have looked great on this design. I love the slash marks. I love the retro kind of look, how it says horror, the old school Warner Brothers logo. We've got the UK ratings here, because this is of course from the UK, but this looks great. The steelbook itself, absolutely love it. We open it up. We have our 2 discs there and a great shot of Robert there. Nice HD cleaned up shot. So in terms of the steelbook, I dig it. I really dig it. It's simple. It's going that old school route again, utilizing the proper logo. and a nice simple look of Freddy on the back coming out of the wall. So again, a nice look at the classic poster, this time with a red filter. Now this is the poster. It's a double-sided poster. It's gonna have the classic poster, but also an international alternate poster. Elm Sokai Kabusi? I'm gonna have to find out which one this is. And then on the back, the classic poster. So this is indeed the international Turkish poster. Obviously not when the original came out, because that's, well, part 4 Freddy you see right there. I think one little thing to take away is the fold lines, and I get for storage and boxing and shipping and stuff like that. It just makes sense to fold it all up, but if this was rolled up, I think that'd be a great idea. Now here we have a nice little picture book, once again utilizing part 4 Freddy. Open her up and they've got the remake glove. We're looking through some nice HD photos from the original, which is great. You know, look at that. See, that is a beautiful shot right there. I love this shot, and I love the fact that it's cleaned up in HD. Beautiful Johnny Depp and Heather Langenkamp. That's a great shot. That's a great full cover shot. I have never seen that one before. That looks great. Robert and Wes, that's when they were filming the alternate take of Freddy dragging Tina up the wall. Again, using part 3 Fred. Come on. That's a great shot of Robert. There's Johnny. Okay, so overall, nice little picture book with some interesting photos in there, especially that one I've never seen before of Robert in the room with Wes when they were filming Tina's death. Now we've got some cards, and they're utilizing the part 5 glove, the Dream Child glove. So we've got part 3 Freddy once again, nice shot of Nancy, and they have a nice matte finish to them, so you don't get that glare, which is great. Johnny Depp as Glenn, Tina, Lieutenant Thompson, Marge, and back to Freddy. So if you just humor me for a tick, I'm gonna show you the postcards or lobby cards that came with the Infinifilm version. Well, it doesn't say Infinifilm, but essentially this is the Aussie version of the Infinifilm DVD. But we also get a certificate of authenticity, but all of these are beautiful part 1 photos. Like look at that with Freddy and Tina under the sheets, Nancy. This shot I love. It's so good. I would love this blown up in HD and framed. I just love the silhouette of Robert in the boiler room and just how warm everything looks. And a nice shot of Johnny Depp as Glenn. And last but certainly not least, we have our certificate of authenticity out of 27,400. This is number 3,294. All right, so now that the unboxing's done, I quickly threw the disc in because I was also referencing the digital 4K version just to make sure that things were lining up and things did indeed look the same. They pretty much did. So I've got a few shots that I want to do a comparison with the Blu-ray and the 4K just to show the differences and the sharpness and certain things that stood out to me, whether good or bad. So we're starting off with the build sequence, the building of the glove from the first film. So what you see here is a shot from the 1080p Blu-ray, and then if we go next, we have the 4K version. Now, when it comes to the transfer, what I found is a lot of nighttime and dark shots, while they look beautiful and rich, and look, on a whole, this transfer looks incredible. It's the best the first Elm Street has ever looked, especially daytime shots. The colors are rich, are vibrant. The blues, the blacks are black. It's a true black, and they also coincide well with the film grain. You know, this isn't a James Cameron thing where we're taking away the film grain and everything looks AI and artificial. The new color timing and the film grain work well together. But when it comes to certain shots, whether it be, you know, this hero shot here of the glove once it's being built, and then a few other shots I'll get to in a minute, I feel like they've darkened it just a little bit too much. But at the same time, when I do compare the pair, it seems like a lot of shots from the build sequence were blown out in terms of the contrast and the lighting and just overexposed, whereas this brings it back a bit. But at the same time, you lose all those beautiful details in the glove, especially when it comes to the char marks on the brass backplate and also on the copper pipe. So we go back to the original Blu-ray look. You know, you see the original true color of the leather glove, that you see more of the staining on the brass backplate, but at the same time you see how rich and beautiful the red is on Freddy's sweater. And there's a much more of a warmer tone in this shot, which could be reminiscent of, you know, heat and fire. This is a great comparison shot. Like I said, the daytime shots are exquisite. You know, the colors are so rich. So here we have the shot of Johnny Depp, Heather Langenkamp, and Amanda Wyss getting out of Glenn's car. And if we go to, so this is obviously the 1080p Blu-ray shot, and then this is the 4K version. Look how rich and beautiful the red is on the car. Even this dude's motorbike helmet and also bits of the bike. It's a night and day difference. They look incredible. Everything is crisp, sharp. Now we have a nice shot here of Amanda Wyss as Tina. So this is the Blu-ray shot. and then we have the 4K shot. So this is one shot where, like the hero shot of the glove when Freddy's finished building it, it's been darkened down just a little bit and you lose certain details, but at the same time, the blacks are so rich. So here we have the 1080p shot, and then we have the Blu-ray shot. Again, you know, some details are lost, especially when it comes to Freddy's makeup. But at the same time, it's a dream sequence and it's darker. It's got to be a bit more creepy. This shot here is a great upgrade from the 1080p version. When Freddy comes out from behind the tree and yells Tina, we have the Blu-ray shot here. And then this is the 4K shot here. So the colors are rich and vibrant. The original colors have been put back into Freddy's sweater, but also here on the post, just how crisp and sharp everything is. The tree, even the fence in the background there. Again, another daytime shot outside. We've got Lieutenant Thompson. So this is the Blu-ray shot. Then we have the 4K, just how rich the greenery is, and also just all the details that have been put back into his uniform, the car as well. This is another great comparison shot. The hall monitor, no running in the hallway. We've got the Blu-ray shot, and then we have the 4K shot. I think the best reference is Freddy's sweater. Even though this isn't Freddy per se, and this is a cleaner version of the sweater, you can see the true rich colors of the red and the green before they weathered the sweater. And there's a lot more detail going back into the glove. You can even see the index blade break. And then we have the Blu-ray shot here, and then the 4K shot here. But what I love is you still see the reflection in Robert's eyes, his beady little eyes, especially right there. Now the pipe scrape scene, pretty much like the build sequence, you lose the true colors of the charring, the staining, the scorching on the copper pipe. You know, the braze markings when they braze the blades onto the copper tips. So Blu-ray version and the 4K version, a lot warmer this time around. And I'm just gonna go through the last ones here. So when Freddy is in the jail cell with Rod, that's the Blu-ray and the 4K. Again, just how creepy Robert's eyes are when it's been surrounded by a lot of darkness. When Marge pulls the glove out, we have the Blu-ray and the 4K, and you can also see the safety pin there where the seam on the bottom of the glove there had split. And last comparison shot, when Freddy's chasing Nancy before she wakes up and pulls him out of the dream, there's the Blu-ray shot. So a lot more brighter, and then we go to the 4K shot, a lot more darker, a lot more eerie. Again, just how rich these colors are in the transfer. So on a whole, the transfer is quite impressive. Again, just me being nitpicky because of certain reference shots that I have utilized a lot throughout the film, you know, whether it be glove, makeup, sweater, costume, all that type of stuff. But this is the best it has ever looked. It's great to see how vibrant the colors are and just how rich everything is up on screen. When it comes to the audio, we have Dolby Atmos, and it is by no means perfect. There's one particular sequence that I got a heads up about. When Freddy is chasing Nancy through the boiler room before he scrapes his glove, the audio track, the original score, Charles Bernstein's score, dips down a lot and the sound effects overpower it. But to me, that sequence was always overpowered by Charles Bernstein's score. It was that beautiful synth score, and it dips right down right till the very end when Freddy pokes his tongue out, and then all of a sudden, unnaturally, it just blasts back in. It just seems like a bit of a fault there, but there are some instances where the sound effects definitely do overpower and don't seem in line and balanced with the score. Something just seems a little bit off. But again, like the transfer, for the most part, this is the best it has ever sounded, in my opinion. Sans those few gripes right there. Just seems like there's a bit of a mixing issue going on. Now, when it comes to the special features, I expected something a bit more impressive. This is the 40th anniversary, and I know we have a shitload of documentaries. We have two called Never Sleep Again. We have, you know, the 45, 50-minute one on this one, and then we have the 4-hour one, which covers the entire Elm Street franchise. And I guess there's nothing much else to say. It would have been great to get a bit inventive and maybe get into the nitty-gritty of the design of Freddy, the costuming, you know, the glove. I know we have For the Love of the Glove with the bigger Elm Street documentary, Never Sleep Again, but to me, this just seems like a lot of recycled stuff considering this is the 40th anniversary. So guys, on a whole, and I know I'm being very nitpicky and very critical, but again, this is my #1 film. Elm Street means a lot to me. On a whole, it's pretty damn impressive. This is the best the film has ever looked. When it comes to the packaging, it's a mixed bag. And I know I'm getting all nerdy with they used a Part 5 glove, a remake, but when, again, it's the 40th anniversary, you figured they'd go all out. And I'd love to see what a company like Scream Factory would do. The transfer, everything was handled by Warner Brothers in-house. I'd love to see what Scream Factory could do, not only with the transfer and the sound, but some original artwork. I mean, look what they did with the Friday the 13th box set and those beautiful individual Halloween cases, you know, brand new artwork that was also accurate to the certain Halloween film and the certain Michael Myers mask from that particular film. Now, my good buddy Christian over at Planet CHH did an unboxing review of the standard 4K disc. Now, that also utilizes this cover here. And someone left a comment on his video, and I hope you don't mind the shout out, but it was very interesting. It comes from the Juiced one, and they go on to say the Steelbook is worse. They literally used a pre-made Canva template for the little icons. All they added was the claw marks. Lazy. Transfer was good enough though. So I'm assuming they mean this cover was utilizing Canva templates. If that's the case, fuck me, dude. Like, come on. That's just lazy. Again, I know I'm nitpicking, but it's the 40th anniversary of A Nightmare on Elm Street. This just seems like an obligation, and then they just had to do it and put it out there. I will give it though, the Steelbook is simple, impressive, utilizing the proper font and the classic poster. So to rate this, I have 4 different ratings. We have picture, we have audio, we have special features, and packaging. So for the picture quality, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. For the audio, I'm also going to give it a 4 out of 5. Now, when it comes to the extras and, you know, recycling a lot of stuff from the past, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. And for the packaging, that just is an absolute conundrum at its finest, it's a 3 out of 5. And there you go, guys. That is my unboxing and review of the Elm Street 4K Steelbook package. Again, this is the best the film has ever looked. I would love to see Scream Factory hopefully tackle this one day. I have a feeling. You know, it's not over until it's over. If you did manage to pick up the 4K, guys, whether it be the standard or the Steelbook pack, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the transfer, the audio. What are your thoughts? Especially when it comes to the audio. You know, people have their certain preferences, and I know there's been a lot of issues in the past with the Blu-ray audio as well. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.